Stacking order is an important concept to understand when creating artwork in Illustrator. The more complex your artwork becomes, the more important it is to be aware of object stacking order and how to manage objects in your document. Let's explore stacking order and how to manage the stacking of objects in your own documents. I'm beginning this video with the stacking.ai file already open on my computer. And this is essentially just a blank document that we're starting from, so you could have created one on your own as well. Now, what I'm going to do to illustrate the concept of stacking order is I'm going to choose my rounded rectangle tool, and that'll be found under your rectangle tool. And I'm just going to click once with this tool, and I'm going to draw a shape that is 7.5 inches wide by 7.5 inches tall and has a 0.75 inch corner radius. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and that is going to draw an object on my artboard. So I'm just going to reposition this at about the center of my document, and I am going to remove the stroke on this object, and I'm going to set the fill color. I'm going to use my swatches panel. I'm going to go ahead and set my fill color to red. So we have one object now that has been applied or drawn on my artboard. Now I'm going to grab this tool again, and I'm just going to go ahead and click another time. We're going to create another object. We'll keep the settings the same, and I'll go ahead and click OK. And this time let's choose a different color. I'm going to go with, let's go with orange this time. And I will reposition this as well. And this time I'm just going to rotate this one a tiny little bit. Now, we're already beginning to see the concept of stacking order because the first object that I drew was red, and it is now beneath the second object that I drew, which is orange. Let's keep going here. I'm going to draw another object. So this time we'll make this one like a lime green. Again, I'm just going to keep positioning this, and maybe this one I'll rotate in a different angle in the other direction. That looks good. Let's draw another one. This time I'll make this one like a yellowish color. Kind of do the same thing. This one, rotate in a different direction. And let's go ahead and do one more just so we can kind of really see the idea behind this. And let's see, this one, we'll go ahead and make this one maybe like a purple color. So the idea, as you can see already, is that these objects are stacked one on top of another. Now, as you can see, they're stacked on top of each other in the order that they're drawn, but they don't have to remain that way. So here's what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and click on this purple shape, the one that's on top. And if you go to the Object menu under the Arrange submenu, you'll notice you've got 4 options for arranging this object in the stacking order. So for example, we have the Bring to Front command. Now, if I choose this, it's not going to do anything because it's already in front of everything else. What happens if I go to Object Arrange and choose Send to Back? I can barely see it because it sent it all the way behind every other object on this layer in this document. Now, if I keep that object selected and I go to Object Arrange and choose Bring Forward, it's only going to bring it in front of the next closest item. Look at this again. The purple is currently behind the orange. But if I go to Object Arrange and choose Bring Forward, it's going to go in front of the orange but still remain behind the green and yellow object. Now, if I select the yellow object and I go to Object Arrange and choose Send Backwards, it's only going to go behind the next closest item. Now, the other place that you can see this is in the Layers panel. If I open up my Layers panel, you can see that I'm currently on Layer 1. But if I open up this disclosure triangle, you can see that the stacking order of these objects are displayed within that layer. And we can see that currently it's essentially showing me that the red is the bottommost object and the green is the topmost object. And you could change your stacking order in here as well. If I actually drag the red shape up, you can see I get a bold line indicating where it's going to fall in the stacking order. If I let go when it's at the very top, it's now going to appear on top of everything else. And if I drag it down a little bit, It's now going to be sent behind, in this case, the yellow object. So as you can see, stacking order is not rocket science, but it can't be ignored either. Understanding stacking order and how to make it work to your advantage will help you to create your own great-looking artwork inside of Adobe Illustrator.